Hey guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Watching Giant Deer Antlers Grow. We've had some amazing things happen this year, and I think this is either week 19 or 20. We've started with little bitty tiny horns. We've got the giant big horns, and we've had some heartache along the way. We lost Cyclops, you know, and now Bazooka. I don't know if y'all caught the Wednesday night video, last night's video, but we showed the operation of Bazooka. And if you haven't seen that, you can go back in there and look and see how what we did on that. We spent an awful lot of time, effort, and money with Bazooka, because these deer are kind of like a pet dog or a cat. You know, you take care of them and you get vets out and work on them and do everything you can do. But we're going to take a look at what the deer look like. We'll start out. We'll take a quick look at Forrest and TC back at the house. I'm not going to shoot any separate video. We're just going to kind of take a look at some of the videos that y'all have seen on the Friday night video, because we've got some that will be on tomorrow night. We'll just pull a few clips on there to see them. They haven't really changed a whole lot. I do notice that they are beginning to change their attitudes. Those two deer are sparring a little bit. It's so funny to watch them spar, and I don't have any video of it yet. I'm trying to get video of it, but TC will just take Forrest, and he just shoves him back. He just goes backwards, you know, because he's so big. And Forrest is pretty good size for a 1-year-old deer. You know, this is his first horns. But anyway, we've got some interesting video there that'll be on Friday night, tomorrow night's video of Lucy's herd. And but we'll take a look at Whitey and Whitey and Bubba as well. But right now, let's run to the house and take a little quick look at Forrest and TC and see if we can notice any changes from last week. They've got good hard horns. Forrest is not quite there yet. What do you think? Try to get a good look at TC. There's TC. His horns now are completely hard. You can see how wide he is and how big he is. His horns are completely hard, no blood on them. He's got the blood scraped off, and I've noticed him sparring with Forrest some. He just locks up with horns and then walks straight on and pushes Forrest back. So, but now when it gets serious, he could kill Forrest. He actually could. And so we're thinking about putting Forrest in a pen, which we can, because he was born in a pen. He's not a totally wild deer. Born in the wild, he's born in a pen. So we can put him back in a pen and put some does in there with him and actually let him have an easy rut, and he won't have to fight. He won't have to chase. All he'll have to do is make babies. And there's a little hot 6 right there, I think, beside TC with the broken horn on that right-hand side. But so there's a couple of the bucks right there, and you can see that Ot 6 still has his velvet, and TC does not. But TC is not going to change a whole lot. We'll watch and see if he breaks anything off fighting. He's pretty much got all of his velvet on, got still a little bit, but right now he's interested in food, not love. Okay, well, you can see that Forrest and TC really hasn't changed a whole lot. Once you get into these hard horns, what you need to look out for is tines that have been broken from fighting. We're in the pen right now with Whitey, and we've got the back pen closed off, so they're in kind of a small area, so I'm going to move really slowly in paying attention to these deer, because well, it's still hot. It's still hot. We've had a little cooler weather come in, but we have these hot days, and some of them are still getting into 90 and 92, 93. We had a 94-degree days a couple, 2 or 3 days ago. It's just amazing how hot it's still got. And the deer are staying in the shade because it's so hot. We do have a little breeze blowing today, so it's real nice. We built these pens up on the hill so they would catch the breeze during the summertime. Of course, they catch it in the wintertime also. That's why we've got the sheet metal around on the wires, so they'll have something to get behind out of a north wind. And of course, they've got shade they can get in. You can see Whitey is there, and you can see just what a magnificent buck he has become. He's just really big, and he'll get out in the sun here in a minute, and we'll get some video of him out in the sun. But you can just see how incredibly gorgeous he has become. He's just spectacular. He's just spectacular. What can I say? And he's just a beautiful specimen of a white-tailed deer. This guy was born 2 years ago. He's born right here in these pens. He lived during the rut on the outside. I think I will leave him in this year. One reason, just for protection, and I'll have plenty of does in him here for him to play with. But I think we're going to leave him. In the pens. It is more dangerous, without a doubt. It's more dangerous, without a doubt, for these guys to be outside during the rut. And one of the reasons it's more dangerous is by golly, they're just not very cautious. They're reckless. They're chasing girls and they're reckless. Any of you guys identify with that? Chasing girls and getting reckless? I never did anything like that personally, but I never got reckless. Careless a few times. Is this careless and reckless the same thing? But anyway, you can see I've raised this camera up a little bit here, up pretty high, so we'll be able to get a good look at him. We're pretty close to all the deer because, again, this is just one half of the pen. Got broken into 4 sections, and this is just one part of it. But you can just see how big and beautiful Whitey has become. His horns have got pretty much all the velvet off. He's still got a little bit. I haven't looked at my video cameras in here. I don't know what we've got on those. We'll try to take a look at those this week. I got to tell you guys and girls, my schedule is just horrendous, you know, working tremendously long hours. I did get to fish some this last week, but working tremendously long hours trying to do all of Chris's work, or do part of hers, Sherry and Mandy doing the majority of it. Doing what of Chris's work I have to do, doing all my own, making personal appearances and doing everything. So I just don't get everything done that I would really like to get done. Whitey, I can't believe I just saw what you were doing there right in front of everybody. Have you no shame, big boy? I kind of got him off to the side there because he's peeing. I guarantee you, take a picture of a white-tailed deer, that's what they'll do. That's exactly what they'll do. The little deer are getting big and beautiful, some of them. They're just absolutely growing to no end. And I look back here at some of these. They're just really getting to be decent-sized deer. Even though they're little babies, they're getting to be decent-sized deer. And they just look great. They just look absolutely great. We'll be turning those babies loose, particularly all the little bucks, because the other bucks will kill them if you leave them in here. So we can't do that. We have to. And Whitey is just an absolutely gorgeous animal. I don't know what I can say about him other than what I've already said. We don't really know how many points there are. Some of you counted them out there, 22 or 23 points, and that is probably exactly right. He's just really big. What can I say? He's beautiful to look at, beautiful to watch, beautiful to see move around. He is fat as he can be. He's had all the food he wants in the pen. He doesn't have to look for his food. All he's got to do is eat it, and it's just absolutely spectacular. That's all I can say. Absolutely spectacular. All right, guys and girls, you can see that little fawn beside him is a little doe, and then it's a little buck standing beside her. You can see he's got little nubbins already. So we'll be able to watch more antlers grow. Where'd he go? There he is right there. That's a little buck right there. And you can see how much bigger he is than that doe. Might be his sister. Excuse me, allergies. But bless you, Jimmy. And the deer say, what in the world's going on? What in the world's going on? All right, Whitey, you're a beauty. Don't you get sick. I can't stand any more heartache. Okay, guys and girls, let's pay a visit to Bubba and the babies. I guess that's what we could say, kind of Bubba and the babies, because this pen has got 17 baby deer in it, and they're getting so big and beautiful. They're just absolutely gorgeous. I can't see with this bright sun and everything, I can't see my screen, so I don't really know what I've got. I'm just simply walking down here. They're all in the shade. You're catching a breeze, all coming off of the lake. You can look back off in, we call that Steve's Cove right there. That is a big, beautiful part of the lake. Oh, there it is right there. Jimmy, that was sky you were shooting. It's hard to see it out here, you know, and that's a big, beautiful part of the lake right there. This is Steve's Cove right here. My partner, Steve Wells, has got his house on that cove, and it's a great fishing cove, But you can see what we got here, and everybody's wanting to stay down here. They're up on this hill. They're getting a lot of breeze off the lakes, nice, and even though it's really warm, as long as they stay down here, they're in a lot of shade, and they're just beautiful. Look at all those babies. Those babies are just absolutely gorgeous. And they're growing, and we've had a phenomenal success ratio keeping them alive. We've only lost 2 babies, and 24. Now we have 22. Maybe because we have a bunch of girls. And there is Bubba. There's our deal right there. There is Bubba. And I'll just kind of keep it on Bubba there. You're probably going to move out in the sun where we can see him a lot better, but I'll just kind of try to keep it on him as well as I can. Let's see, where is he? I lost him. Oh, there he is. Oh my goodness. How do you lose something like that, Jimmy? It's just hard to see this screen. I got a new iPhone 13 Pro ordered with all those cameras on it. They talk about all those fancy movies. Maybe I can see my screen a little bit better. I've got this thing, the brightness up all the way, and I don't know, I still can't see it very good, and the sun's got a big glare on it, and if you look at it through your Polaroids, that pretty much blacks it out, so you have to even pull your Polaroid glasses down. My Jimmy Houston Polaroid sunglasses really knocks it out. Bubba, I know you don't want to run out in the sun, but we would like for you to run out in the sun just a little bit. He says, don't get too antsy with me, Jimmy. I'm beginning to feel the rut start in my body, and I might just charge you. And if he did, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be crawling up one of these trees, and you'd see this this phone laying on the ground somewhere. Because I might throw it at him. I don't know what would happen if he got after me. But look at those horns, and you can see that he has got a lot of velvet off. It's going to take him a lot to get a lot of velvet off. He'll have to do lots and lots and lots of rubbing. But he's just a big, beautiful buck right there. Those horns are heavy, but they don't weigh nearly as much as they did when had all the blood up in them. Getting up here pretty close to him right now, and I know you're still not getting a really nice, great look at those antlers, but you can see there's just a lot of them. The left side of those, as we're looking at him, his right side, our left side, as we're looking at him right there, is the side that got hung up in the fence last year up at Dale's place. And they had to cut those off, and they thought they would probably never grow back correctly, and they have not grown back to match the other side, but they grew back a lot. That's a pretty sensational side. That would be a really something to watch, that one side right there. If both sides were like that, it would be something. But his left side, which is, as we're looking at it, is on the right, is incredibly large. Got that big drop tine on it, and it's just incredibly large. It's just all I can say. Really, really big. We're hoping that he walks out in the sun. I would like to get a little bit of look at him in the sunshine, let y'all see what he looks like there in the sun, just because it's so spectacular to get to see. He's trying to get out in the sun there a little bit. We'll just keep following him there and hope that he does. We're actually not very far away from that deer. He's actually pretty doggone close to us, and I don't want to necessarily get real close, because we're to the point, we're getting down to the time of the year where it could be a little dangerous. There he goes out in the sun. That's exactly what we wanted him to do. We just wanted him to run out there in the sun so we could just look at him a little bit better. And that's exactly what we're getting to do. He will probably go over to the other side. We'll walk over to that other side. We got to go over to that other side to get out anyway. We'll walk over to that other side if he goes over there, and might be able to get a nice shot of him out in the sunshine a little bit better. But you can see those horns shining like a new dollar. Now, he's a pretty good ways away from us up there right now. But he is just absolutely gorgeous. Again, it's still a warm day, even though it's better than it has been. The breeze makes it nicer. We don't want to push him too much in this heat. So we'll let him go on the other side, and we'll try to get a minute or two of looking at him over there, hopefully in the sunshine. Okay, we're going to take another look at this big, beautiful animal over here. If I can follow him, Follow him, Jimmy. He's a little bit hard to follow there for a second, but I think I got him now. But we get him out in the sunshine and see how big and beautiful he is. I mean, that animal's close to a 300-pound animal. He's really huge. He's able to carry that size rack with no problem whatsoever. And he's just absolutely gorgeous. I mean, he's just absolutely gorgeous. Not much you can say about Whitey other than he's just Bubba is just a tremendous specimen. And some of these baby bucks that are running around in here belong to Cyclops or Bazooka or him or Whitey. Not Whitey, I don't think any of these in here, but some of them belong to him. So we only have 5 bucks, but here's the deal. We got the does that we have, the 17 does. The 17 does we have also has his genetics. So when they breed, and some of them might breed this fall, now when they breed this fall, they have almost, just maybe a 20 or 30% chance of having their fawns live. and they breed when they're 1 year old. When they breed when they're 2 years old, they're going to have that genetics right there of Bubba, and so that's going to just be absolutely fantastic. And they will be out running around the ranch in the wild. We will keep probably 5 does in here for him, and 5 for Whitey, and 5 for Forrest, probably. We'll just see. We're going to probably have to catch a few more does back in here. We will probably, I don't know exactly how many we got in here, we'll just have to see. We will be letting the babies out. Might put the babies into one pen and keep them for a little bit longer, let them get a little bit larger. We just don't know. We have to make that decision as we go. It's all a moving target. You can't really plan and say on this date we're going to do this date we're going to do that. It's a moving target depending on when the deer are born, how healthy they are, how much they grow, and stuff like that. So it's all kind of a moving target. But what we're trying to do is improve the genetics in the entire ranch, and that's exactly what we're doing, improving the genetics. And getting genetics like that right there running around and producing on its own naturally on the ranch. No different than putting big bass in the lake, genetically great bass in the lake. In Texas they have what they call a C-Lector program, where they take the bass that you catch in a lake that's 13 pounds or bigger, and then they take all the eggs of that bass and raise those babies and then restock those in the Texas lake to make the genetics of individual lakes in Texas better. And they stock them all over Texas. They've just done a remarkable job with C-Lector. And we're talking about sharing a Pope and Young or a Boone and Crockett. We're talking about creating some great big giant deer that can run around free roam here on the Eagle that we can look at. And a lot of them end up living around up there with Lucy's herd at the house. And they are a pain sometimes, but we love them. We love them. We sure do love them. Okay, guys and girls, that will wrap up this week's Antlers episode, and things have changed. It's been a major change happened this week, but that's part of it. That's just part of it, and it's sad. It's one of the hardest things in doing what we do. It's kind of like it's like out there fishing. If I'm fishing with somebody and they hook a big 5, 6, 7, 8 pound bass, or maybe a 9 or 10 pound bass, and they let it swallow the worm, and when you finally get it out, and we fish with barbless hooks a lot to keep from killing the fish, and the fish is bleeding, you turn the fish back and you know it's got about 80 or 90% chance of dying, it's sad. And it's only a fish. It's a fish that some people might just stick a knife to and fillet and eat, but it's sad when these type things start to happen, and you have something bad happen in what you're trying to do. But the great thing is, one of the greatest successes we've had this year, obviously, is our babies. We had 24 babies born. 22 of them have made it. 22 of them have made it. These babies were born back in May and June, so June, July, August, September, almost October. These babies are about 5 months old, 4 and 5 months old, and they're just doing great. They're big, beautiful. They've had all the food that they can eat, demand food anytime they wanted, they could eat. And they had some great mamas, and it's just absolutely been a great situation. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one this week. If you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube channel, subscribe right now. Share this with as many of your friends as you possibly can. And remember, I sure do love you.